Welcome in to DC On Screen episode 183. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Oh, yeah?
Today is a news episode. This is a news episode, and we usually do these weekly. I don't believe we're going to be doing it next week, though, right?
No. I apologize, but I have to get married to the one person on Earth that's going to put up with me.
Right. So, congratulations on that, Jason.
Woo!
But,
That's a bad woo. I actually am excited. Love you, Christian.
I think I just heard her roll her eyes.
Yeah, I think I felt it.
We are going to do the season finales next week, right?
Yeah. Those are worked in.
Good. Those are going to get worked in. They will be a little late, just like this. It was all a little late this week, but you had another wedding to go to Saturday.
Very sorry. Yeah, I was a groomsman in a wedding the week before my wedding.
Yeah, people like to get married at this time of year, and I'm just going, how would you do all the shows are ending, your season finales. What do you have? What's
Why would you have them now? I mean,
I know spring
June.
and shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess that's true. We did. May 18th was our birthday for this show. We've been doing this show for a year, man.
I know.
I posted a little thing on Facebook and on Twitter and some places. Frida Ubaldo, long time listener, said, I thank you and Jason for doing this. Keep it up. Absolutely, man.
Still working on your Batman. You're next. Absolutely,
yeah,
by the way.
Still working on you, buddy.
Yeah. You said something like the Batman, so you're getting something like the Batman. But
yeah.
Object openly if you just wanted Batman right now, because otherwise you're getting an alternate version of it.
Either way,
please
man.
tell me, because I haven't inked anything yet.
Hey, either way, you said something like the Batman. Well, even if you said Batman, you said Jason. So you're going to get something like the Batman anyway.
It's true.
I'm just kidding. Jason's good.
Truer words.
I like your artwork, buddy. I do. I have a bunch of it.
I enjoy your enthusiasm. Your unearned enthusiasm.
But this first year has been incredibly fun. It's also been really exhausting at times. But we've come into contact with a lot of great people. A couple of stinkers, not going to lie. There's a couple of you I'm giving the stink eye to. But most of you have been amazing.
No, I mean, on various occasions, we've been called a number of things, including uninformed idiots.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
I'm not sure. I never will be sure.
But they did write the review on the wrong iTunes account, so
yeah.
Because we have a weird duplicate, so
which we haven't been able to work out. Working with Apple about your account status is just a cumbersome process.
It is.
It takes time.
But
so,
overall, the podcast has been an intensely positive experience for me. And as the television shows wind down, I've been
actually even with the negative comments, I've gotten a good laugh out of that too. So
oh yeah.
I've kind of enjoyed the whole fucking thing.
The few negative comments we've had, have given me a crack every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah. At worst, I've kind of thought, oh, I do that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, one of my favorites is we got kind of yelled at for, I guess, laughing at our own jokes.
I don't know. I didn't know what to do with that. On
our website, I actually looked the guy up, and he has a podcast of himself, and the whole thing is him, it's fart jokes. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I don't know.
I totally get the whole don't laugh at your own jokes thing. I just also it's just it's me and you having a conversation, so I don't know how to really help that.
Yeah.
It's
but yeah, overall,
it annoys me too sometimes.
Overall, very, very, very positive experience for me. And as I was saying, TV season is winding down.
Yeah.
I've been looking into some interesting ways to double down on listener interaction, to make it more, fun for the listener. We are getting into some crossover stuff, and we're getting some of that set up, and I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But we're also I'm looking into ways to reward diehard listenership and interaction. Maybe some options for Patreon. so people can help support the show if they want to. And also, don't worry, I hate the idea of like doing exclusive content as far as like recording a private episode for people who pay. Like, I am never going to do that. This show is never going to be that. Like, I hate that.
Yeah.
All the shows are free. That's you get every show. You don't have to pay for it. That's you know. And I bring that up because I was talking to Christopher White, one of our first fans,
of free content.
Yeah. So I mean,
if you happen to watch all the shows we actually cover, so
yeah. But dude, thank you everyone, all the listeners. Be you a comment leaver or a silent listener. You are all loved and appreciated. Actually, as are you, Jason Goss. You are the best co-host in the podcasting business, sir. And I couldn't, and more importantly, would not want to do this show without you. So thank you for everything, dude.
Don't want to get sappy, so I'll just say I feel the same.
You're the best guy I ever knew. You may not think you're a hero, but you are to me. You got that?
Just Legend of Tomorrow, people. There's a cry moment if you watch all 13.
So onto the out of the sap and onto the news. We are officially doing a crossover with Suicide Squad cast in July.
Yes, sir.
We are going to review the worst of the worst DC films, with the first part being on Suicide Squad cast and the second part being on this show, DC On Screen. We ran a poll last week. It was between Batman and Robin, Catwoman, Steel, and Jonah Hex. Batman and Robin won. If you guys follow us on Twitter...
What was the margin, by the way?
They got close with Catwoman. Like, it was a lot of fun.
Catwoman pulled up?
Catwoman pulled up because Tim really wanted to be Catwoman.
Yeah,
and Scott really wanted to be Batman and Robin because Tim has apparently not seen Batman and Robin.
Oh.
So it was a lot of fun. I was just watching those cats trying to get people like, come on, Catwoman people, get over here. They got close, but it was a small margin, but Batman and Robin won.
The 38 people that are still alive that have watched Jonah Hex and Steel, just they weren't represented.
Even those people were like, no. Nope.
Batman and Robin's worse. Click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're covering that then. So we're covering Batman and Robin. That's what we're into.
That's what we're gonna do.
Sounds good.
Which means you're gonna have to sit down and watch Batman and Robin, my friend.
I will begin the coping process.
The coping process? Are you already in mourning?
There's probably going to be a therapist involved.
I'm tempted to cheat because I've seen Batman and Robin so many times when I was a kid that because I would watch the first one, and then because I'm a completist, I'd have to watch all the others every time. Some say that might be a form of OCD or something. I'm not going to disagree. I'm much better about it now. When I was a kid, like I would just get on a Batman kick and watch those 4 movies over and over again.
Right.
Even though I knew one of them sucked, or multiple.
I mean, that's what you had at the time.
Oh yeah,
you watched them.
Yeah,
I understand.
I mean, Batman the animated series only came on once a day.
Right.
Anyway, on to other news.
You couldn't get the accumulated version, or you would have watched every TAS just over and over again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Which, as that was proven when I started just taping them. When I found out they were coming on Cartoon Network later, I started taping them. Anyway.
Honest to God, animated series aired an hour after school let out for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4
and
o'clock.
that was the motivating factor for me not getting detention when I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
That was the main reason I actually woke up early enough to get to school, so my tardies didn't eventually accumulate and me missing an episode of Batman.
Yep.
I regret nothing. I only missed a few episodes. Had trouble waking up. I tried, but
I honestly do. I remember, because sometimes the line would be really long, or something would happen, and I don't know, our mom couldn't pick us up from school or whatever, directly on time. Every day, I would stand there and pray. I'm not joking. Pray.
Yeah.
That she got there on time. Or at least, not even on time. Not even on time. Screw on time. I don't care about on time. Just in time for me to get home and watch Batman.
Totally understand.
I knew it was going to be one I've already seen a million times.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
But it might not be. It might be a new one. And shit. Had to be home for it.
Man, I don't know, man. I'd be so disappointed when I get home and it would be like that Tiger episode. I'm like, Island of Dr. Moreau shit.
Red Claw or something.
Oh man. Yeah, like Red Claw was. I hated the Red Claw episodes too. I'm like, except for the one where like Alfred was a badass, and they were like, oh yeah, he was also like James Bond. That was cool.
Well, sure, but it got to that. It was, early on kind of boring. All right, we've done a lot of TAS talk this week. We should.
I tried to move on a couple of times, but we kept going.
I'm sorry. I helped. We should carry on.
So, big news this week. Supposedly, I could have sworn this was already confirmed and talked about, but apparently it's still not confirmed, but it's a big rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Reporter is coming out saying that John Berg and Geoff Johns are going to be co-running DC films. They're going to be executive producers on all the upcoming movies. Detractors of Zack Snyder have been putting, these are so-called professional journalists as well, have been, oh, thank God, oh, look at this, it's finally happening, Zack Snyder's gonna be depowered, and this is the Kevin Feige of DC. No, this is not what happens. It's not what's happening, guys. Geoff Johns has been the executive producer the entire time. Go back and look at Man of Steel and, maybe not Man of Steel, but at least Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
And John Berg was working on Batman v Superman. Yeah, John Berg has a relationship with Ben Affleck. They've worked together on a bunch of shit, but he's been working. These cats have been running on this stuff. They just decided to have like genre streams where Geoff Johns is going to be answering to Diane Nelson from DC Entertainment. Mm-hmm. John Berg is going to be talking to the cats from Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. Man, it's not a whole lot is changing. I know you guys all these people think
it's not a fix.
Like everyone's like, oh, finally Geoff Johns is the Kevin Feige. He's not.
No. Because they are running a different kind of system. They have a different hierarchy than the MCU ultimately has to deal with. So,
and everyone keeps pushing at the same. Everyone's like
maybe the problem as far as them making polarizing films like they've done.
Well, I mean, you look, everyone's complaining that they're either copying Marvel or they're not copying Marvel enough. They need a Kevin Feige. They don't necessarily need a Kevin Feige. They don't. I mean, you got Geoff Johns and Ben Affleck. That's really all you need. And I'm sure this John Berg character, I mean, he was working on BVS as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's fine. Like, he's worked with Ben on a bunch of good movies. So, hell yeah.
Doesn't seem to have a blight on the record anywhere. Let it roll.
All right. Berg was already working on Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and Justice League. I
actually don't. I physically don't think anything is changing.
I really don't either.
I think they just put out some news so that it would seem like it was changing. I think Zack Snyder is going to work with the same job he had yesterday.
Mm-hmm. If anything, they're just giving it names and they're pushing it into these, as they put it, genre streams like. Berg and Johns are going to be working on the DC films, while Courtney Valenti is going to be doing the Lego projects and the Harry Potter stuff, and Jesse Ehrman and a person whose name I cannot pronounce for the life of me, Nija Kukindal, is going to be doing like comedy and family and sci-fi and action, and they're just splitting up some roles, and I'm pretty sure Johns was already doing that. Now. There's also a bit of news that they've been talking about, and they've been trying to link it, and I think it is linked. But while Johns hasn't confirmed that any of this is true about the executive producer thing, I mean, I assumed it was. Anyway, he was talking about DC, and everyone's saying like, "Oh, Johns is secretly against Zack Snyder." No, I don't think that's true. He was talking about.
I really don't like Snyder. He does deep cut stuff with his work. Johns would be the guy that appreciates that.
So
Johns is he's so in depth. He appreciates pretty much any take on these characters. He wouldn't like neglect Snyder's take on the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got kind of a Grant Morrison feel for it. Oh, they're all valid.
Yeah, I mean, Johns was he was at a conference and he was talking about what he thinks makes the DC mythos unique. And what he kept saying was hope and optimism. And everyone's like, oh, he's coming out against Zack. No, he didn't. He didn't say anything about Batman v Superman or the movies. He did say that he didn't confirm his new position, but told everyone they could, quote, connect the dots. And he also said that his take on Superman is, I think people make a mistake when they say Superman's not relatable because he's so powerful. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's a farm boy from Kansas who moves to the city and just wants to do the best he can with what he's got. That's the most relatable character in the world. And he's not...
God, I love the way he describes him, though.
Right?
Seriously.
So, but
I don't know if the hashtag's out there, if it's just Chris Wisdom, but in Johns we trust.
Mm-hmm. And you know, like everyone, like, people are saying like, oh, his take on Superman is different than Zack Snyder. Man, I really don't think so. I don't. Like, I think Batman v Superman was an integral and necessary step to take, especially when when you look at the Superman story and you look at today's world and you say, and I'm not going today's world is so gritty. Yeah. Pretty much since the 60s, maybe even before that is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you're going to have governments wondering whose side he's on. Since Cold War became a huge deal, like, that's the story they should have been telling the entire time. Is that, look, alien falls from the sky, some shit's going to go down, and this character's going to have to find his hope and find his place in this world. They're still getting there.
No, 4 or 5 years from now, I want to be looking back going, yes, that was the thing that had to happen to him before we got to the character that I fell in love with when I was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm. On the Man of Steel review, I talked about, like, yeah, I kind of wanted that more hopeful Superman, but at the same time, I also wanted, like, people in churches blowing their brains out because aliens exist and it means their faith is wrong. Like, I wanted crazy shit. Like, so I wanted the realistic take too, and you can't have both all the time. And Batman v Superman was a natural progression of that. Yeah, they're saying that Justice League is going to be more bright, more sunny, more hopeful. I'm excited for that. I am.
Don't get me wrong. I don't see how it can't be. This was a very dark film.
It was a very dark film.
There's nowhere to go but up.
I don't think it was so dark that people should be, saying, I can't take my kids to a Batman movie. I didn't think it was that dark. I don't know what those people were talking about. You've said
and
that.
No. I mean, but I would not take a child to this film. I wouldn't. It's the concepts are a little. But I was
deep. On my sixth birthday, I got taken to the Keaton Batman movie. It was pretty dark.
It can be.
I mean, I watched Joker fry a dude.
Quite like this. I mean, it wasn't like Martha Kent is about to be burned alive.
Joker literally burned a guy to death, set him on fire, and then talked to his smoldering skeleton and told him, "I'm glad you're dead," while straightening his tie. I don't know what to tell you, man.
That is a really good rebuttal.
At no point in Batman v Superman did I see anything that screwed up. And as a 6-year-old, I was just like sitting there grinning from ear to ear, like, yes, okay.
But at least that was a bad guy doing it to a good guy, in theory.
No, it was a bad guy doing it to another bad guy.
Oh, that was a bad guy. All right.
As he was smoldering.
In bad guy land, bad guys can do things to bad guys, and that's fine. I would have so much trouble explaining this to a child. I don't think so. I ran into a situation a few days ago where I had my nephew come over. He's 5 years old. Late 5, I guess. And I had the DC Comics encyclopedia just sitting out somewhere. Mm-hmm. Well, he grabbed it and just opened it to a page. Mm-hmm. With no context whatsoever. Like, he knows about some of these characters. This is the same kid who has an 18-inch Joker figure that apparently he beats up on occasion because that's what you're supposed to do to the Joker, and I couldn't be more proud.
Sure. At least he's not hugging him and saying, "You're my friend." Like, no,
right? That would be weird. No, he knows what you're supposed to do to the Joker when you see him. That's fine. That's great. I'm very proud. He opened it up, and it was not Jason Blood, but Brother Blood.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it was a picture of Brother Blood with like blood dripping from his hands, and the poor kid was asking me like, "Why does he have blood on his hands?" And I was having trouble really explaining it to a 5-year-old. Like, well, because he's kind of developed like a religion kind of thing where he kind of and I come from a religious family, so me trying to describe that like that was a religion was I was going off on a bad mark there because I couldn't possibly explain to him that
there are alternate religions.
Yeah, it got very strange very fast, and after a minute I found myself trying to say like, well, he he kind of uses rituals to make the blood seem important. It's kind of, he used it to intimidate people. It got really weird really fast, me trying to explain what this character was, because he just opened it up and he was like, why does he have blood on him? I don't understand.
But you went too deep with it. He's like, he has blood on him. Why does he have blood on him? You go, because he's a bad guy and he hurts people.
I actually tried that first. That was the first thing I tried, and it did not pass. The kid would not have it. He was like, but why does he have all the blood dripping? Why does it have to be blood? Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me regroup.
I gotta say, man, here's the thing. I've heard of these troubles, man. As a kid, I never had that. When I was a kid, I was like, yeah, this bad guy. Of course he has blood. Of course he does. Like, I'd watch Star Trek 2, and I'm like, of course Kirk has blood on his tunic. That kid just died. He stayed at his station. Like, it didn't even ever occur to me that this was, like, morose or...
No, you're right. I should have just said, he's a guy who tries to be in charge of other people, and he has blood on him because he just killed a bad person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That helps me. I should have tried that instead.
It's just like, certain times...
No, instead, I tried my best for about 2.5 very phallic minutes and completely failed and confused the kid more, I think, than when he'd opened the book, and just opened it to another page and went, so here's Batman! And he went, Batman!
Right.
And then he ran off and started playing with my dog, because my dog was more fascinating than Batman at the moment. And
sure, that happens.
I was at a loss, man.
Your dog's very, very interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I was a kid, I was just like, I was all about it didn't, I'm sitting there laughing because, Joker just fried a dude, and as he's like fanning him off, looks over at the rest of the mobsters standing there with their mouths agape and goes, Antoine got a little hot under the collar. I'm like 6 years old. I was like sitting there like cracking up, and like Nicholson's cracking up at his own line, so it is a wonderful line.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he just like took over this entire group of gangsters by frying their boss. I'm not saying it's not camp, but it's also delightful. Anyway, I think it depends on the kid, and how you've raised the kid thus far. I wasn't bothered by it. I know my youngest sister, Brittany, was scared of the Joker for a really long time when she was a little kid.
Hey, happens.
She loved Batman. She couldn't do Nicholson's Joker. Loved Hamill's Joker, even though sometimes Hamill's Joker got a little creepier. But it was just a thing. I don't know.
You never know.
Everybody's different.
You never know.
But, again, I think it's another one of those situations where it's like, kids back in the day used to watch, cowboys and Indians shooting at each other. And now people are like, oh, you can't show a kid guns. Turn him into a psychopath. I don't think so. Not all of them. Just the ones who are going to be psychopaths anyway, I suspect. Whatever. I have no filter or censorship. I just don't. Whatever. I don't. Show the children the violence. I'm good.
The gauntlet of animated / live action violence.
Yeah. Now, I mean, as far as the philosophical themes in Batman v Superman, no, absolutely, the kids aren't going to understand that. They're not going to care.
Not a chance.
Well, they're not going to understand it. Most of the adults I know didn't understand it. So, anyway, I think
there's not a chance of a pre-adolescent really getting kind of some of the deeper concepts that are happening.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of Batman out there for you to watch.
Some of the deeper concepts that are happening are what we thought were good about the film.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different kind of film that way. Like we liked that. We liked the subtlety of it, and if you can't get that, you can't get that. And that's where a lot of the heart of the film is for me. Like that's where the spine is, I guess. I should say is the deeper philosophical explorations. And I don't know how to tell a 7-year-old to go watch this film with deeper philosophical explanations.
I
can't get behind that.
Why is Lex angry? Well, but you see, belief can drive a man to lots of things.
Yeah, because sometimes omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence may necessarily promote the idea of evil.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that in about 13 years.
Or right now, watch X-Men. People fear what they don't understand.
Listen to this, 6-year-old.
All right. I'm going to move on down the line.
Please.
By the way, I think that Geoff Johns, if there is anything going on, it's probably a positive thing. I'm hoping it is, but I think it's all been the same thing. I don't think anything's really changing very much. We are sponsored by Loot Crate.
The Loot
Crate. I don't know what this month's, because the 19th has passed, and I don't know what the next thing is.
Oh.
But Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear. For less than $20 a month, you can get 6 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and when the cutoff happens, that is it. You're done. It's over.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Which is past now, and I know we were late on our TV reviews, but that would not have helped you. You should already have done it.
That would not have helped you. You should have already done it. That's over. Anyway, make sure to head over to lootcrate.com/giant size team up and enter the code giant size team up to save $3 on any new subscription. Man, they're going to have you covered, man. That's any new subscription. They have different kinds of boxes even. So you can go get like genre fed boxes. Like nice. Our buddy Brandon, he gets like a horror box every month. And it's pretty wild.
He does.
So he gets a couple of them. He gets a couple of them, actually. But yeah, anyway, that'll help us out. It'll help you out, save you $3. I mean, and you're gonna get a lot of cool stuff. Anyway, moving back on to the news. See, that didn't hurt.
No.
It's like one of those tiny Band-Aids on an area of your skin that has no hair. It's fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. You hit it up.
So, guess who got confirmed as the dead Robin from BVS?
Jason Todd.
That is correct. The WB Studio Tour Hollywood guy, John, confirmed in a video on Facebook that it was Jason Todd. He says, this was one of the big things from Batman v Superman right across this way. The Jason Todd Robin suit, spray painted on the front, haha, the joke's on you, Batman. Those of you that know the storyline know what happened to this Robin. Comic book fans unite. Why, thank you, John. That's exactly what we wanted to hear.
I mean, dear God. I'll take the confirmation from wherever it may come. But, come on, we knew that.
We did.
All right, I say that knowing that there's like a 70% chance that we knew that and a 30% chance that they were fucking with us. But
all right, still is.
Oh my God, it had to be Jason Todd.
It kind of does.
It's like you're playing Arkham Knight and you get through it and come on, you know.
Once JT hits video game status,
he's fair game.
Hello, friend. Welcome to the public lexicon.
Damn straight. You're in the minds of millions now. Especially in that franchise. It sold well.
Mm-hmm. So, jumping over to Suicide Squad.
Hit it.
The Suicide Squad was screened at Century 25 Theaters in Union City, California.
Mm.
And, yeah, man. So far, really good reviews on Twitter. Nikon Gamers had got to watch an early screening of Suicide Squad, and it was actually pretty great. Starkiller Ultra said, saw Suicide Squad today. It met my expectations. Can't wait for the actual release. Gleek Moonwalker said, I recommend everyone go see Suicide Squad in August. It is a pleaser. You will be surprised. I wouldn't be that surprised. It looks amazing.
No.
All Real Lex said, saw a free first screening of Suicide Squad.
He could have meant those as two different concepts. It is great, and you'll be surprised at what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, could be.
And I believe that's probably what he meant, just because I expect to have some kind of fucking turn happen on me somewhere in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've kept such good raps on it.
Yeah, but all Real Lex is saying saw a free first screening of Suicide Squad. The movie was amazing. All the characters were played incredibly well. # recommended. I mean, they just go on and on like this. Just got out of test screening. This is the movie that should have launched the DCEU. Perfect filmmaking, breathtaking. Margot Robbie was just a perfect Harley Quinn. My God, just perfectly crazy. Will Smith was an amazing Deadshot. There's one I didn't think I'd hear.
I thought you would.
You thought I would?
Yeah, I thought you would.
I thought, I'd be more along the lines of Will Smith was an amazing Will Smith.
No. That's the problem you've had. The problem I've had is that there hasn't been enough Will Smith in things.
I'm kind of sad to say it, but I would have almost rathered him been in Independence Day Resurgence.
I do admit I will miss him in that movie because I cannot possibly stop myself from watching that movie.
I know, me either.
Just can't.
I know they like they basically relegated his character to being like, well, they kind of have this like his son is gonna like take up the thing.
Yeah,
and
your dad was the bravest man I ever knew.
Yeah, they killed him off like on a website. Oh. They're like, on the Resurgence website, they're like, oh yeah, he died like during a test flight of one of the alien vessels.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, shit, he went through a lot of stuff just to get killed off that way.
Yeah, it's a little bit lame, but
which I feel like was their way of saying, screw you for wanting too much money, Will Smith.
That probably would happen, yeah.
Anyway.
Hugely probably would happen.
I'll watch him as Deadshot, and I'll be like, okay. I mean, there's
also the option that everyone else and their time restraints meant that they couldn't get Will Smith, and maybe Will wanted to do it even for that money they were offering him, but it just couldn't be done in that time because of Suicide Squad and whatnot. And that's I hate to say it, but I'm actually excited about it being Deadshot, so I'm okay with that.
So what's that asshole's name in Brave and the Bold? The Equilibrium guy. What's his name?
Oh shit, his actual name? I don't know. Is it?
No. What was he called? Was he called Equilibrium?
Equilibrium.
For some reason, I didn't think he was.
Oh, Equinox.
Equinox. No. That's it. Equinox.
Was it Equinox?
I thought so. Once you said it, it made perfect sense.
Continue your story, and I will tell you if you're wrong.
That character must be screwing around with some things, because while we get all these amazing reviews for Suicide Squad, there are all these, I would say, an equal amount of Equinox.
Yeah,
there's an equal amount of articles coming out saying Suicide Squad reshoots need to fix the ending. Apparently, Warner Brothers is still working to smooth out the third act of the Suicide Squad to make sure that the expectation of the audience is not only met but exceeded. Lots of negative articles about Suicide Squad. It's getting harder and harder to say that there's not some sort of conspiracy at work. Like, there are some real DC detractors going on.
No.
It's just ridiculous. I haven't seen this much crap about Marvel, like, ever.
I haven't, but at the same time, I gotta admit, the percentages are bearing out. Like, I hear some shit about the Marvel movies, but percentage-wise, the reviews that come in that are negative versus the fan reaction that's negative seems to be kind of pretty relative. And with DC, unfortunately, that's been the same. That's actually been the same. Like, the critics were all over the place, but I haven't talked to a single person personally, webbily. I haven't talked to anybody that didn't have some very polarized opinion of the last few DCEU movies. Or I guess at this point we're just talking about Man of Steel and BVS. But man, it's been all over the place. But to my experience, the fan reaction actually fits it. I don't know.
Yeah. There's just, there's a lot of, it seems like there's a lot of negativity for DC. Like, they don't even want it to try.
No, like we've had, tell me if I'm wrong, we've had 3 trailers for BVS and 3 trailers for Suicide Squad, is that right? BVS, first trailer, yeah, let's do this. Second trailer,
absolutely, let's do this.
Yeah. Third trailer, what the hell?
Oh, I'm counting a different one as the second trailer and third trailer. Yeah, that second trailer was, as you're counting it, was weird.
Suicide Squad,
I was thinking of the teaser trailer as the first trailer. I don't know.
Oh, no. The Armageddon trailer. The one where I'm sorry, the Doomsday trailer, was the one that I'm discounting. Where we all went, oh, shit. Like, there was a shiver of fear in your spine where you went, oh, crap. This may not be the movie I wanted. But it came back with a third trailer, and that's fine. But it had a...
to be clear, it's never the movie I want. Almost ever.
Yeah.
Like, the movie I want on any given franchise, like... And that's true of everything. Like, for everyone, I think. There's a portion of the movie-going audience who I think sits down and goes, I'm open to whatever they give me. Or, I just want to see what the hell they're going to do. But I think a fair amount of people have preconceived notions, they have expectations, things they want to see in that movie. And I think, whether or not they enjoyed it is just based on how much of that actually how deep that is and how much of that actually got seen.
No, that's hugely, I think, what happened with this movie, with BVS is, and I've talked about this, it had to do with your expectations going in. You decided to spend the time and money in your life to go in to see this thing, and you if you were okay with multiple versions of this character, and that's kind of a long shot, because this is not like in the movie that you were just presented. These are not the most normal versions of these characters by a long shot. They're validated, they're precedented, but they're not the most common versions. That like in the common schema, the common mindset, they're not the most normal versions at all.
Right.
And if you were okay with taking a turn down a different path for a second, that was fine. But if you were expecting something and didn't get it, you were just objectively disappointed. And I understand. Same time, if you could kind of roll with it and go, okay, well, this could be fun too, that's fine. And this is the great failure of the movie to me. And I really did enjoy the movie for its own reasons. But the great failure of the movie to me in a meta way was that S did not stand for hope. It did not tell you to hope for the next movie. It didn't tell you to go out and watch the Justice League. And that is what that's what that S stands for. And honestly, like, Batman, for the most part, stands for discipline, but when you look just a little bit further, he's hope too. Like, that's the reason they're the best friends. That's the reason they're the world's finest. Mm-hmm. Like, it didn't give you that in this movie, and that's kind of where the movie failed as far as meeting audience expectations to me.
I think it failed in a large way they gave the audience too much, or the mainstream audience too much credit. There were plenty of fan reviews saying, "Oh my God, this was amazing." But when I would talk to your average Joe, and I talked to like probably 7 or 8 of these people just randomly on the street who I saw wearing a Batman shirt, and then I'd be like, "Oh man, you down for Batman v Superman?" They're like, "I just don't understand why they're fighting."
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That was a huge thing. Like, everyone kept going, "So why are they fighting though? They're supposed to be both good guys. They're both good guys, right?"
Ultimately, yes, but they didn't. Like, the main failure of the movie was it didn't give you enough reason to expect both of these people to be good guys on the same side in the future. It was intending to set up the rest of the universe, and it did a good job with setting up the universe in certain ways, but making you think that you're going to be able to trust Superman to be like the guy you looked up to when you were like for me when I was 3 years old, I couldn't imagine someone I should expect to be. That was the he really was. He was Superman. That was who I was supposed to be. That's on my best day. I could hope to catch his curtail. And with Batman, like, it's the same thing. Like, that's a superhuman version, but Batman's like, he's the apex of human conditioning. You're hoping that you could possibly be someone who has this much faith in humanity if only you tried. And the fun part about Batman is a lot of versions, they actually make a point out of it that he knows he's fighting a failing battle. Like, he knows he'll never win this.
Absolutely.
But he's going to fight anyway. And for Superman, it's the never-ending battle, right? Mm-hmm. They're these tragic figures that stand for hope, and that as much as I love the film for what it did as far as the philosophy of it and expounding parts of the philosophy of it and exploring the deep and dark parts, it didn't get any of that across.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have headcanon to get it across, and you have to have hope. Like, that's the meta part. You have to have hope in the actual films to get that across eventually, because that's kind of emotionally, that's what I connect with, and intellectually, I'm so into these concepts and figures and characters that I love what they did with that, but I want them to get into the hope part, because that's the part that's going to make me, choke up in a theater seat somewhere. But that wasn't what you got when you went to the theater. And
me too, except not in that hokey way like the Supergirl finale. But I
don't need an actual speech about hope. I need you to actually show me hope.
Right.
Yeah, I need, and come on, I hate to do it, but like Marvel with I need Groot. I need something like that. That's hope.
We are Groot.
We are Groot.
So yeah, I think they're gonna get there. I do.
I really do have hope they're gonna get there, because the characters cannot help getting there. This is the thing. Like, I'm not, one of the reasons I'm not down on these films is because I have so much faith in the concept of these characters that I don't think the people making them could possibly fuck it up.
Oh, I've seen too much, man. I think they totally could.
No. I honestly, I have so much faith in the actual fiction of it that I think the fiction will fix reality.
That's a tall
that may
order,
be my
man.
problem.
That is your problem.
Absolutely.
And Batman and Robin will drain that shit from you faster than fast.
That's how much faith I have in the actual characters, though. I think they will like reveal themselves to the people that are trying to limit the hope aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna get there. I really think we're gonna get there.
See,
and I don't want to be wrong because it will hurt me as a human.
The Superman sacrifice at the end of PVS, man, that was all about. That was the hope, man. That was the
S. That was the S actually showing up.
That was Superman. And yeah, he looked moody and grumpy a lot of the movie, and he was like thinking maybe he doesn't have the right to interfere. But yeah, I mean, why can't we make Superman a little moody? Why can't we, actually make him? He should just all be smiles and winks the whole, for the rest of existence. He should have a little bit. And by the way, everybody loves Injustice. I don't know why everyone's upset because Superman's totally the bad guy in that shit. He's just a bad dude. He's gone nuts.
It was a good game and it was a cool concept, and they used the like you killed Lois and your unborn son or daughter. Mm-hmm. That's hard to start with.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's I don't think they've done anything so egregious as to elicit any kind of hatred. Not really. I mean, they're getting rid of Goyer, it looks like. I can't really ask for much more at this point.
Yeah.
Give me a couple more movies and I'll get back to you.
That's a good sign.
Anyway, Cara Delevingne has been talking about auditioning on Suicide Squad for her role as Enchantress. She said that she met with David Ayer at a hotel in London. Instead of talking to her about Suicide Squad, he showed her photos of amazing, enlightened, powerful, and evil women. Then they talked. They then talked about addiction, mental illness, and she said that was pretty interesting. And then the second time she met him was at his house in Los Angeles, and he asked her to read a scene from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Apparently that was her favorite play, and she had acted in it when she was 17. And she said, somehow when we were doing the scene, I became livid. I hadn't felt rage like that in years, and then I got the part. She was one of the ones who got her part early. There was no script for Suicide Squad yet. Huh?
Good job, Ayer, though.
Yeah.
He had his concepts. He asked her to do something she knew, so if she didn't do the thing she already knew well, come on.
She said, when she got the part, like, David asked me to go and try to find a forest, and if it was a full moon, get naked and walk through the woods with my feet in the mud, which I did. Even though there wasn't a full moon, but I howled like a wolf, she said.
Yeah.
That's weird, man.
That's weird, but that's strange enough to be kind of exciting.
It is. In a separate interview, she described Enchantress as being as an ancient sorceress, a feral being. She's been trapped for so long, and now she's finally let out. All right, that makes me think even more that this is the bad guy of the movie.
Yeah, it really does. She's been my favorite vote for a minute.
Mm-hmm. So you want some exciting news about Rocksteady and
of course I do.
and the Arkham games?
Of course I do.
They are releasing Return to Arkham, which is Arkham Asylum and Arkham City remastered in HD. They're cleaning up the graphics, re-releasing them for Xbox One and PS4. And it includes all the DLC ever released, also remastered in HD.
Of course.
So you can pre-order those at BatmanReturnToArkham.com.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty nice. Moving over to television, Supergirl, it has been confirmed, to cross over with every damn body.
Yes, sir.
CW boss Marc Pedowitz confirmed that they are going to do a big-ass four-part crossover event with Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. It's going to be our biggest crossover event, he says. That's awesome. I was hoping that would happen. So there you go.
Like we have openly hoped for that.
Yep.
This is just a giant, oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now the bad news. News. Calista Flockhart might not be staying with Supergirl.
What? No.
They're trying to keep her, but they're in talks. I'll say that. But she lives in L.A. with Harrison Ford. She doesn't want to move to Vancouver. So,
well, of course she doesn't want to move, but no.
Yeah. Squadcast, actually. Suicide Squadcast talked a lot about this. They're talking about how on starting at SG-1, when Richard Dean Anderson, I think that's his name, MacGyver, when he when he wanted to be closer to his kids or whatever, like he started pulling out of the show a little bit, and they would just like shoot all of his scenes at once, and then he could go home and they would shoot around him. They might do that with Calista Flockhart. I kind of hope they don't, but I mean, it is a thing I've heard about for years.
No, it happens. It happens all the time.
It does, and I don't know. Maybe Calista Flockhart will stick with the show. I'll say this. She is a good addition to the show. She's one of the bright spots of the show, but I also worry that they lean on her a little bit as a crutch instead of, like, once they found that she was so good, or they probably already knew she's Calista Flockhart, but once they already knew, like, I think they've been leaning on her a bit.
She's damn good. And that might be kind of the optimistic way to look at it, as, well, maybe you've been leaning on her being really damn talented, and
right.
Maybe you can take this opportunity to make it a really cool show that like intertwines with the rest of the shows that you're now just absolutely dug into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And no Calista Flockhart, and that's a big name to have on a show. If she doesn't, like, look, I want her back too, but if she doesn't come back, they might be able to throw a little more time to other characters who need it a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just, I really have enjoyed her.
Yeah, I enjoy her. I enjoy her on the show.
Every episode we've ever done where we covered Supergirl, there's been like at least one line where we said, okay, this was the funniest thing that happened all episode.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I wouldn't even mind if they like kind of pushed, if she left and they pushed Max Lord to be more of that character, like, because he's funny too. But
he can be. Last half of the season, at least, he proved he can be.
They like filled that hole with him. And then, even though they've been kind of hinting that he would like to fill that hole, that was bad. I'm sorry.
But yeah,
I think they could really deal with him doing that, being that kind of a character to replace Flockhart. I don't know.
They actually did give themselves an out, though. They removed her from Cat Grant's like immediate presence, and Cat essentially told her, "Find your own way." They don't have to have her in every episode.
They don't.
They really don't. I mean,
job is nothing now. She can do whatever the hell she wants.
She can write this thing from scratch, like in a way that White Room, which is hilarious, with endless possibilities, yay for symbols, was kind of, God, it was really clever on their part. Like they can just say that she has her own setup. We can bring in Cat Grant for a couple things to help set up that she's autonomous now, and be able to actually not have a show that has to have her more than a few scenes the entire series, or at least season.
Yeah, I mean,
if they want to.
It'd be sad if it came to that, but yeah.
Yeah, because she was so good. Yeah. So good.
So, CEO Leslie Moonves saying that, surprisingly, it's great to own two networks. He's saying Supergirl fits better on the CW. If they didn't go there, we would have probably taken Supergirl back. Glenn Geller, president of CBS Entertainment, saying basically the same thing. He says it's a win-win since we co-own the CW. We worked out a great deal, and who would say we wouldn't have picked it up had it not gone to the CW? I'm happy for that, but at the same time, I'm a little bit annoyed that these two fat cats are going, hey, by the way, little people, it's great to own two networks.
I'm more annoyed by the bullshit.
Yeah?
You told CW to take this show, and CW was happy to have this show, but you couldn't get it for the price you wanted, so you sent it to CW. Don't act all proud that you own two networks and that was possible now because you don't have to go through a bunch of lawyers to get property rights. No, you didn't get the views you wanted on CBS, so you threw it over.
Yeah.
I much more trust the CW's, what was it, the CEO saying like, we're proud to have it. Yeah, you're proud to have it because that's going to be a huge view for you. Like,
well, they actively came out and said that they wish they hadn't given it up in the first place.
Damn straight. So. Would have been a huge coup for them, frankly. Well, I say that, but CW might not have gotten the pull that CBS had to. Like, maybe it was a good ad lead to actually have it over there for a season, just to get the people back. But like 6.5-7 million people a week for CBS is no big damn deal. For CW, it's a huge fucking deal.
Yeah. So
it's not. I'm not impressed by the corporate speak on it.
I'm not either. I don't know. I'm annoyed. I'm just annoyed with them. But anyway, I'm glad that it would have had a home anyway. They probably would have, they say, renewed it. Anyway.
Well, they can't say the other thing. That's why I'm calling bullshit. Is they can't
no.
say, well, we would have canceled if CW wanted to take it. The hell do you say?
Maybe not. I mean, they may not have canceled it. You don't know.
No, but they can't say they would have canceled it. That's my problem.
Well, yeah, I guess they can't.
I mean, they may not have actually done it, but they can't say, well, we were going to cancel anyway. Glad CW took it. Thanks for taking our dregs. Other network that we own. Never going to happen.
I don't think that was the case. I don't think anyone ever went, hey, thanks for taking our dregs.
I don't think it really was the guy. I think that it was the right decision to move it over. He can't possibly have said anything other than what he said.
That's probably true, yeah.
The alternative is absolute nonsense.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Oh, so not officially, but the Powerless trailer has been released. It's been leaked, I should say, really.
It's out there.
It's out there. You want to talk about it?
I went to the YouTubes.
Yeah, I went to the YouTubes.
And I found it funny. Okay.
Well, there were some good bits in it. I loved Alan Tudyk, the evil boss, reading Lex Luthor's autobiography.
That's pretty great.
I was less interested in the whole Vanessa Hudgens stands up to, the superhero. Who was it?
Crimson Fox?
Crimson Fox. That's right. I kept wanting to think... I don't know. I had like 3 different names in my head that were combining. Never mind. Crimson Fox. You don't hate me for that. It's such a low-level character, guys. Come on.
Come on.
I loved the demigod thing with Wonder Woman.
That was fantastic.
Wonder Woman dropped a building on somebody or whatever or something. Is that an act of God? That was fun. Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I did not laugh at all during the I want to nail Aquaman so bad thing. I kind of didn't find a lot of it funny. I'm not sure yet. Even the Danny Pudi utility belt with the fanny pack wasn't funny to me. There were a couple, I don't know. I mean, yeah, this is most assuredly all from the pilot.
Yeah.
So far, I'm really on the fence with pilots are never the best thing ever, but
rarely.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of where they were going with it, though. They're going to do physical humor. They're clearly willing to explore the nuance of what a hero is. The thing about the demigod with Wonder Woman is just fucking on point. Taking weird characters that no one's ever going to touch, like Crimson Fox.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knew about that?
I do kind of like the Clark Kent character that they all think is Green, or that some of them think is Green Lantern.
And by the way, I forget what her name is. I always forget what her name is. She did something on Netflix recently that it's not Hall & Oates, but it sounds like it.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to her. Ukulele Girl.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know just enough to know that I don't know.
I feel terrible for not knowing her name because she's so damn talented that I damn well should. But that woman has never failed to make me laugh. I didn't realize she was actually going to be on the show, and I could not be happier to know that she is. Especially having a good enough scene to be telling everyone, no, he's not Green Lantern. I hit him in the back with a chair.
Yeah.
You failed science. You failed science in that scene. The show's gonna have physical humor. It's gonna have a little bit of intellectual DC humor as far as the demigod thing is a pretty good shout out for anybody. I refuse to think that Alan Tudyk and Danny Pudi are gonna fail me, and I really don't know Vanessa Hudgens from Eve, but
I don't think I've ever actually seen her in anything.
For God's sake, I don't know who she is. But she
was in High School Musical. That's what I know.
I IMDb'd her for half a second and went, okay, sure. I've never seen any of these things. But she seemed to be, she's playing the straight guy. So she seemed to be doing an okay job with it. I don't think I'm going to look back and go, oh, she screwed this show up. I think I'm going to look back and go, yeah, she did a great job.
Well, I mean, a lot of fans have been like, "Oh, not her," just because they're like, "Oh, what a High School Musical thing." I'm like, dude, she's done other shit, man. She's done other shit. I don't know but she's done it.
What did she do? You saw her for 45 seconds. Please, people who knee-jerk reactioned and said Vanessa Hudgens, what did she do wrong in these 45 seconds or a minute that she was on screen? Please tell me. That she seemed to act the part just fine.
Yeah, I mean, the tone of the show seems a little cheesy, but especially all the, like, she's a hero in her own right. That
being said, we've ranted about Andy Richter controls the universe this week.
That's true. Andy Richter's amazing.
You just have to make me laugh enough, and that amount of cheese will be fine.
Absolutely. So far, I mean, I'm going to watch the hell out of it, but, I mean,
Yes, we are.
So far, I'm, not altogether enthusiastic about it, but that may change. I don't know. I felt the same exact way about Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and that is my favorite comedy on television right now. It is amazing.
Right?
So, moving along. Stephen Amell, I know we said that if Stephen Amell says it and leaks it, is fair game, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is going to put it to the test, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
He did an interview with TV Line at the CW Upfronts. And, this is what he said. Talking about the finale. He says it's the biggest one yet. He says, it feels more like a season finale next week as opposed to last year, which almost felt like a little bit of a series finale. But next week's finale's good. It has, I think, a lot of the closure that people are looking for and enough questions and teases for Season 5 that people will be excited. We have a scene that is really unlike anything we've ever done on the show, certainly with me as Oliver, and not just speaking to the team, but speaking to Star City. We do that a little bit in the premiere where I announce myself as the Green Arrow, and there is a bit of a callback to that in the finale, and then the next step of that evolution.
Okay, that's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
That would tie in, though, to him saying, why did Dark... how was Dark able to give these people more hope than we ever did?
Yeah.
And it was a really cool moment in season... That was season 3, right? Where he says, I'm the Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
That was really pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, now, Roy taking the hit for that was actually pretty good TV, too. It's nothing to take away from it. But this could be fun. This could be really fun.
Yeah, could be. He also hints at season 5. Amell does. He says, I've heard that our villain is something that you can really only do once you're in the 5th, 6th, or 7th season of a TV show. As far as I know, they don't have superpowers. I'll tell you that. Right? So CW at the Upfronts released this synopsis of Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow that's kind of interesting. This is for the season 5. After a violent shipwreck, billionaire playboy Oliver Queen was missing and presumed dead for 5 years before being discovered alive on a remote island in the North China Sea. He returned home to Star City, bent on righting the wrongs done by his family and fighting injustice. As the Green Arrow, he protects his city with the help of former soldier John Diggle, computer science expert Felicity Smoke, his vigilante-trained sister Thea Queen, former police captain Quentin Lance, and brilliant inventor Curtis Holt. But sinister players with a connection to Oliver's past, there's Russia, will push the team to its breaking point, threatening everything Oliver's worked for and his legacy as the Green Arrow. So, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good, about what I expected for Season 5 to be sounding like.
Yeah.
Now for the Legends of Tomorrow. When heroes alone are not enough, the world needs legends. Time-traveling rogue Rip Hunter assembled a disparate group of both heroes and villains, including Firestorm, Atom, White Canary, Captain Cold, and Heatwave, to confront an unstoppable threat. After saving the world, the Legends of Tomorrow now are charged with protecting time, the past, present, and future itself. This responsibility will take them across history, bringing them up against a threat unlike humanity has ever known.
Okay, that sounds really similar to season 1, but okay.
Gotcha. I know. But I don't know, before they were, going after Vandal Savage, now they're protecting time. So that makes me think of more of a Quantum Leap type of thing. Something's gone wrong with, with no Time Masters and no Oculus. Rogue forces have decided to go and start screwing with history, so now they have to go and, you know what I mean? That's what it sounds like to me. Marc Guggenheim is saying that more DC characters are coming to Legends of Tomorrow. He says, we love the idea that the show is a gateway to the whole of the DC universe, and we have an actual opportunity to go to every corner of the DC universe anytime or any place that the story makes sense. I also think Jonathan Sheck was an incredible Hex. We disagree about that. And we were talking last night about doing another episode with him already. He says, I will say that you will see even more DC characters in Season 2 by a large margin.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, I think over on the Legends of Tomorrow cast, Ciara Renee is leaving as a full-time cast member on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. That is all I have on news. There was a bit where I haven't gotten a chance to listen to the episode yet, but Yoda Hugh on Twitter says MCU cast just finished watching. MCU cast just called you out, son. They need to discuss Captain America: Civil War with you civilly. As they put it. He also said, just finished watching BVS. Don't know what all the hate is about. Good film. Not Civil War good, but good film nonetheless. All right, Yoda Hugh. Well, Matt and I have talked about it. Matt called me, and we are planning on doing some sort of...
What's the rough interpretation between the two of you?
Matt and I were talking about it, and I think we are going to try to get together a crossover event sometime in the summer to have an impromptu and hopefully fun BVS versus Civil War type of conversation for you guys. The details have not been worked out. He was about to play a show, and I was busy myself, so
that happens.
We're still trying to keep in touch with that, but like, it's so bad that neither one of us have kept up with our respective podcasts. Like, apparently someone who listens to both shows went and told Matt, hey, they didn't like it. They didn't like Civil War as much as they should have or something. Like, I think I've used it always feels like tattling somehow to me. Like,
yeah,
it's okay.
It wasn't that we didn't like it. I enjoyed the hell out of the film. It's just...
The fact of the matter
perfect.
is I did too. I enjoyed it too. I just didn't like it very much. Like, look, man.
Okay, that is ambiguous phrasing.
Look,
but
I know.
It's not perfect. Come on.
Well, yeah, like...
It has flaws.
I'm just saying it had bigger flaws than most Marvel movies do to me. And it has... And
that part
I did
is true
enjoy...
to me. Like, it is not... It didn't seem as tight as a lot of the Marvel universes seemed.
Yeah, and, I had
that being
a few
said,
issues.
I enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed the rest of the Marvel Universe. It's just... The Marvel Universe is biting off this giant fucking chunk of flesh, and, man, it's a lot to keep up with.
Sometimes you're going to get bone in there. All I'm saying is, like, I enjoyed it.
And I'm
Don't
rooting
get me
for
wrong.
him. I am fucking rooting for him.
This is by no stretch of the imagination a Batman and Robin situation. By no stretch is it a Dark Knight Rises situation, which I know some people are going to give me shit for saying that, but Dark Knight Rises was awful. It was an awful movie. It was plot wise. We've been into this, but Civil War, like, yeah, okay, I didn't enjoy it as much as other Marvel movies. That's like saying, like, oh, I like, Reese's peanut butter cups slightly less than Reese's peanut butter eggs. Like, right. Like, it was, some of the texture was a little bit off for me. Some of the things I didn't, really care for. I mean, I have, me saying I didn't enjoy Civil War that much, or it was a bore. Like, that's like, I mean, shit, man. I've lived in a time when Batman and Robin was the only thing we got, and it killed everything for a while. I mean, shit. I mean, Civil War was still better than, I don't know, every X-Men movie. I'm just saying, we're spoiled. I liked all of it. I mean, BVS, I liked a little more. That's not a bias toward DC or anything. There are any number of Marvel movies I'll tell you was better than BVS. And by God, that from the Queen sequence to into the airport sequence was the best comic book movie that's ever happened ever in anything.
That is barring none. That is, like, we're including everything that happened in the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, just everything involving Spider-Man in the Marvel and the new Marvel universe. If they write that movie, he's getting his own film. If if they write Spider-Man the way they wrote Queens to through the airport, that will be the best thing that's ever happened in all of Caped and Caldum.
Well, like I said last week, that airport's like the bits we got of Spider-Man. Already, Civil War is the best Spider-Man movie that's ever been made.
Ever happened.
Ever.
And, damn it, I hate it for Garfield.
Yeah, I know, but, it is what it is, dude.
Especially when he was Peter Parker. He was doing a pretty good job, but...
GTFO, Garfield. I'm done. Sorry, buddy. I liked you, but come on, man.
He was actually pretty good at it.
He was, but already...
Oh, no, you pulled out a small knife. That's my weakness.
The only thing what we've seen of this guy, like, I am happy to... Like, Garfield who? Like... Like, yeah, up against Maguire? Who's Maguire? Yeah, Garfield. But
no, Maguire
up against this other kid and what they're doing in the MCU?
Absolutely sawed off.
Goodbye. Yeah. So
this kid is absolutely he did a good job. But more importantly, they wrote a great job.
They did. But I do a little bit. My ego is not involved in this.
I'm not done. I'm done. I'm done.
Look, it's not an ego issue here. I do want to set something straight. The Marvel Universe guys, they're our friends, but they don't tell us what to do. Like, why are you guys going to them and being like, they didn't like a thing, you need to put them in check? They're not our parents. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, we love those guys, but
yeah, we do, we really do.
They've never taken a belt to us or made us pick out our own switch or anything. It's, I mean, they razz us a bit. Matt actually specifically called me to tell us, like, by the way, on the new episode, we razzed you a bit. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll get to it when I get to it. I don't know. I don't have time to worry about it, but.
Bring it.
We're gonna have some fun sometime this summer with MCU guys, and maybe after this last episode of Gotham, Matt will need to defend it again. I don't know. He'll come over do it.
We never did do the him defending Gotham.
Well, it got to a point where we started liking it again.
Yeah, it came back. So
it came back, and now it's kind of drifting again. So he can come over and tell us why Fish Mooney's amazing.
That doesn't sound like it really was like it was coming back into the last episode, and then it just kind of went a little burnt rubber on us. The brakes Gotham kinda got applied.
Yeah, Gotham kind of does things in spurts, though. It's like good for a while,
I agree.
Good for a while, good for oh, now it's bad. Now it's real bad. Now it's real bad. That was good for a
when
good.
It's on a good run, you can count on about like 4 or 5 good episodes of holy shit. Holy shit, thank you for taking me on this ride. And then there's oh my god, what have you done? What have you done? Explain yourself.
Right. I don't know what to do with it, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, you want to wrap this show up, this episode?
Run it up.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for listening to DC On Screen. You can find every episode at dconscreen.com. Next week, we'll be doing the season finales of The Flash, of Arrow, and Gotham. We will not have a news episode next week, as Jason is getting married, and apparently he doesn't want to do a news episode on his honeymoon.
I cannot. So, I literally cannot afford it.
Whatever. Well, and now I've actually lost his phone call, so whatever. I don't know if he'll call back or not, because we were just wrapping up. We are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network, giantsizeteamup.com. Oh, there's Jason. Whoop. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
So, I just kept going without you. So, yeah. We are proud members, like I said, of the Giant Size Team Up Network, giantsizeteamup.com. If you'd like a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, go check out our buddies, Matt Carroll, Jeff Randall at the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. And you guys go over there and report to us what they're saying about us. Just, and, gosh, guys, Jason, did you want to defend yourself on actually not wanting to do a podcast while you were on your honeymoon?
I for God's sake, no.
At least one person is going to be like, dude, why would he not want to?
I'm sorry. I adore these properties, and I like person to person could not express how much love I have for everyone who's ever downloaded one of our episodes, but I have to protect the rest of my marriage.
That is understandable, sir.
I am deeply sorry, but I'm going to fit in the season finales, but the news next week has to go.
Yeah, man. Hey,
and
man,
I'm making sacrifices.
Possibly
consequential sacrifices to actually be able to fit in the actual the season finales.
That is above and beyond, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah. I mean, some people.
I love the hell out of everyone who's actually listening to us talk at any given point, but I'm gonna have to call it our next week news. I can't make that one.
Nah, but that means an extra long news episode the next week. So.
Oh, the hell it does.
And you're...
No, you're right anyway. We're going to have to do 2 weeks of news. All right, so expect like a 2-hour news episode next week.
Which will be great because we're not going to have like any shows after that. So, I mean, we will. We'll keep... We're sticking around, guys. I'm just mean like...
Extravaganza of news.
The weekly shows are going to be gone, so it's not going to be like, 4 or 5 episodes a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Until we see each other again, until the season finale shows, keep some DC on your screen.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep. Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.